This video is answering all of the questions that were asked during the Texas rally. I'm going to post, there are 40 some questions. I'm going to post these questions on the page along with the video. There are some 40 questions, and so I'm just going to read through them and go through them one by one. My suggestion is I'll post the list of the questions by number. Look for the question you had and kind of page through the video until you get to the question that you wanted answered. These are mostly questions from people who submitted questions but could not come to the rally. The good news is about the first 19 of these questions are all answered in these videos we're creating for the owners. And so I'm going to go through these. They'll each take about a minute to answer, I think. I tried to answer these in writing. I got to about 10 pages and thought, okay, I'm not here to write a book. So, okay, let's go through it. So first question. So number one, my awning sometimes will not extend. There's two reasons why that could happen. First, if your engine is on, your Firefly knows your engine is on and will automatically cut off intentionally your awning, so it can't deploy. It can't extend, rather. So that's your number one reason. The number two reason could be it's stuck at the very top. And I'm going to do a video on this and show you how to get out of that stickiness. And that should be coming out probably this Saturday. Number two, how do I connect my Fusion system to work with the TV? How do I get the sound to play on the speakers? Good news is I just put that video onto our page, onto our YouTube page, and it's all there. Number three, how do I verify my settings on the Victron Connect app? Again, just launched that video about 3 days ago. Most importantly is the settings I showed were for the Freedom package. I realize there are not there's lots of other packages out there, Passage, etc. Bottom line is if you have the Freedom package, your settings are there. If you are not the Freedom package, you need to contact Matt and tell them what you are you AGM or whatever it's going to be. Let them give you the settings. The bottom line is the video will show you how to use the Victron app to verify or change settings in your system. Number four, how do I know my van is charging? This is also a video. Look at the Firefly home screen and you'll see chassis on about the middle on the right hand side, and that's where you'll see 12 volts, 13 volts, etc. Number five, why doesn't the back TV play on my speakers? Great question. I answered that in the Fusion system. That's a system between the Fusion system, it's called the optical to optical cord, and your settings for your TV, and I show exactly how to do it. Number six, macerator, how do I dump my waste or it won't dump anything? So we actually had this happen. It is a video as well. A person arrived at the campground and their macerator was stuck. And I show you how on the video, it's a very short video of how to use a screwdriver to manually turn the macerator to get it to work. Typically, when the macerator is not working, it means there's something stuck blocking one of the impeller blades. Number seven, what is the proper way to flush my tanks? Again, I'm producing a video on this. This is an important change. I'm going to launch that, I think, on Friday. When at the rally, Mad said there's a change in the manual to how to dump your tanks. I've got it on video. I'm going to share that with you on Friday. Number eight, my AC isn't cooling the van. This is actually my number 2 rated video right now on our channel. Take a look at it. It's a pretty long one, about 8 minutes, but it does walk you through step by step how to get your AC to start cooling the van, and includes tips and tricks on how to use shading, etc., and understand how the AC works in terms of having a 2-stage or 2-level compressor. Number 9, my tank sensor not reading correctly. This is 2 problems. I am doing a video on this, by the way. One is that your tank readings on the Firefly aren't reading correctly. If you have a blue line underneath one of those tank settings on your Firefly, that means that the the probe can't read it, and therefore gives you, in particular in the black tank, it automatically reads full if it can't read anything, so you don't accidentally overflow it. Just by chance, I just had this go wrong on my RV, so I'm going to fix it this weekend, and I received this from MAD. This is what the sensor looks like, and I'm going to share that video with you, how to install it on Saturday. It's very easy, 2 screws, and all of a sudden everything will be working again. Number 10, how to use my Autoterm software / my Autoterm has a PU28 controller. How do I get it upgraded and fixed? Just completed a video on this also. The Autoterm heater furnace is awesome. It'll blow you right out of that your RV if you're cold. There are some tips and tricks on how to use the software perfectly, or not perfectly, well, to make sure you're managing your heat. In short, I show you in my video how to set it so that you can turn it on and off for 10, 15, 20 minutes, however long you want to, so you can get the heat that you want. Certainly you do not want to run the heater all night long. We tried that, and in about 30 minutes we were opening up doors. It was just too hot. It's a really good, strong heater. Plus, you don't want to waste that much diesel throughout the night. How do you summarize and winterize your RV? This is a coming video. One of our one of our members, John Marsala, is going to create that video this weekend. And I think also Eric Weiss is as well. 2 different ways to winterize your software or your RV. We want a 101 class on inverter. I've got that. I'm almost finished editing it, and that will also be out probably Monday. Number 13, how do I get Firefly software updated and exactly what will be on the update do? Boy, this is my number 1 most watched video at this point. I've done this as a video. It's on the YouTube channel, and there's some nuances. So first you have to verify your settings, what's known as your GUI, your graphic user interface. Then based on that, I've created a template to send to MAD, an email saying, here's my vehicle number, here's my GUI number, etc. And then they can look up your build number and determine if you need the update. How do I fix my inconsistent black, gray, fresh tank, true tank readings? Just said that earlier. I'm putting out a video on that in about 2 days. Number 16, how do I maintain the heater on the Freedom package? Do you have to run it every month, or how often? This was actually a tip from Ron Preston about 2 months ago, saying as you enter the fall season, start running your Autoterm heater once a week just to get it going. So I did it just when he said to do it. Do open up your doors and windows. The very first time there'll be diesel or other fumes in the system. So the first time I ran it, it went through the checks perfectly. It started up perfectly, but there was some residue. And so my alarm went off saying there was carbon monoxide in the vehicle for about a minute until it cleared itself off. Bottom line is, the very first time you want to do that is make sure your doors and windows are open. The good news is, I think it's a really clever idea, if you look below in the couch in the back, on the driver's side, below the driver's seat, below the seat, the couch, you'll see a small circular vent. That's where the Autoterm heater sends in hot air, and very smartly, the carbon monoxide sensor is right there, so it's going to capture all that air as it comes out of the heater. I was really happy with that. Number 17. Why does nothing on my Firefly system is responding? What's happening? I did a video on this. You'll see it's called Why is Matt asking me to press my battery button 75 times? The reason is because in a solenoid, like any other car, if you had a 75 Ford Falcon like I did, it happened probably once a month. You go to start your car and it won't start. And when you call your mechanic, they say, hey, take a little wrench and knock on your solenoid, it may be stuck. And that always seemed to work. Well, by pressing the on and off button on your battery button in your RV, that's doing the exact same thing. You're kind of tapping the solenoid trying to get it unstuck. Just by chance, 2 days ago, I was on a call with one of my customers. I have my own business, and fellow RVer, sent me an email saying, hey, my Firefly won't start, what do I do? I said, hey, I'm on a quick call, check out this video, and about 10 minutes later, I got an email back saying it worked, and you're my hero. So that actually works, and if you call MAD, that's the very first thing they're gonna tell you to do. So look at the video, it's about 1.5 minutes long, and hopefully that should solve about 90% of the problems. Why does my, number 18, why does my Victron show the starter battery voltage is at 0.03 volts? That actually doesn't matter. It's a ghost reading. Eric explained at the rally that they don't even hook that up, so don't worry about it. Number 19, where is the battery disconnect switch? Look underneath your Firefly at the side door. There's a blue button that says battery. Press that. If it's on blue, press it and you'll turn, that's your main battery disconnect. Number 20, manuals for each build. First, you have to look at your vehicle number. So your vehicle number is on the inside of your driver's door, just like your VIN number is. Look on your, open your driver's door, look on the panel, and you'll see a silver placard that says Midwest Automotive Designs. If you look in the bottom right-hand corner of that, you'll see vehicle number. That is your vehicle number. The reason that number is so important for you is because if you have a problem and you submit that number in an email to MAD service, that number relates back to their database for your van's exact build. So instead of trying to explain what you've got going on in your van, they know everything that was put into the van, and they can do a better job of diagnosing. And if you need a part, send the appropriate part. What about manuals? I actually have one person on this channel said he actually wrote the manual for 2021. So I'm going to post those in the top of all 3 channels so everyone has it. It's huge. So be prepared for a long download, but it's there. Number 21, what is my warranty coverage? So basically bumper to bumper on everything from MAD the first year. After that, your appliances and other items, inverter, etc., have factory warranties, and your Mercedes-Benz has its own warranty also. My experience has been really positive with MAD. When they came to our rally, they came with techs and parts, and they fixed everyone's RV and with parts and labor for free, regardless of warranty status. So if there's ever a reason to come to a warranty, to a rally, and you need some free parts, that's probably it. I heard from many people that that was a huge step up from previous rallies they'd been to, regardless of coach brand, that they actually come with techs and parts and not charge you even for the parts. So big step up on MAD's part, and I hope they can continue that. Number 22, why does my fresh water spill out of the fill opening on the outside of the van while driving? So this could be 2 things. Number 1, if you overfill your freshwater tanks prior to boondocking, you'll see some drippage. That's actually a valve on top of your freshwater tanks that allows overage, so you can't overfill your tanks. If you're saying it's coming out of the side where you normally would fill where the hose goes, my guess is you have forgot to turn your toggle switch from fresh back to cabin. And so if it's stuck on fresh, that water has no pressure and it can easily kind of drip out of the of that hose receptacle. Number 23, why does my AC not blow any hair to the front of the van through the front plenum opening? Boy, this is really, really important. Also, I answered that question in my Premier AC video. 2 things are important. Number 1, it does, and I'll show you how in that video. But more importantly, if you're driving down the road and you're trying to keep the whole cabin cool, and you are, by the way, if in the summer, you want, in my opinion, you want to close those 2 front vents off, push all the air back to the rear of the vehicle, and then turn your vehicle's center console to AC vents on high and blow that air back as far as you can. The reason is because your Premier or Pro Air system is a closed system. It's just like running your vehicle on recycle. And so the air that goes into the Premier or Pro Air system from the bottom is then conditioned or cooled and comes out those side plenum vents. Of course, the hotter the air that goes in, the hotter the air that's going to come out. The air conditioner can only cool your van temperature 10, 15, 20 degrees. So the key is, as you're driving down the road, always run your AC on high and lower the temperature down to like 58 degrees. You'll see that again in my RV, in my video. Turn your fan on high so you're pushing as much cold air as you can to the back of the van so it does not get warm. Then of course use your front vehicle AC to keep the rest of the vehicle cold. It's a long explanation. My point is, take a look at my video. It's faster and it'll make sense. Number 24, why is my water at the sink extremely hot after a long trip? What is causing this? Water heater is not on. Okay, so my guess is it's in the summer, and as you're driving down the road, your van's gonna heat up. And those tubes that run from the fresh water heater run through the van. So both the fresh water that's sitting underneath the van is going to get hot. Just ambient temperature from the road, especially the road if you're driving, is going to heat that water up. Also inside your van, like any car, any water you have in your car is going to get warmer if it's not air conditioned. And those tubes run through your van, through your shower, etc. And that's why they're getting warm. Number 25, what all needs to be done if we want to convert our house battery to lithium from AGM? This is a big deal. And my recommendation is to call MAD directly. It's not just changing the lithium batteries out, which you'd want to do, but it's also changing all your Victron settings from AGM to lithium. And if you watch my Victron explanation on settings, you'll see it's changing your floor discharge rate from 50% to 100% because the lithium batteries can be discharged fully versus AGM can only be discharged down to 50%. Also, you can there's different alarms in there for you. It's a higher voltage, etc. This is a big deal. Take a look at the video we posted called Victron app settings so you kind of understand what's going on. Here's why it's really important. At the rally, we had one person arrive who said to me, "Hey Carl, you told me you were getting 13, 14 hours on these Freedom Package batteries. I'm only getting 2 or 3. Well, I said, well, let's check your Victron app. And his Victron app, the BMS battery management system, was set for only 200 amps and AGM. So as soon as we set that to 600 amps and lithium, you can imagine now he had access to all 600 amp batteries, all 6 batteries. And all of a sudden he was very happy. Bottom line is you've got to check those Victron apps no matter what package you have and just make sure. Number 27, what is the best, most efficient way to get technical support and information from MAD? So Ron Preston posted that. It's pinned to the top of all 3 sites, and it's a PDF on how to do it. Number 28, what services and upgrades, if any, are available from MAD Service Center? Last I spoke to them, they were not doing upgrades during warranty work. They're just too busy. There are several people that do these great upgrades. Eric Coops, their service director, has a list of them. So my recommendation is to email Eric and he can give you those to you. Number 29, how long can I run my RV off grid? So I've posted this a couple times. I've been very successful. I'll show you how to do it on my Premier AC video. I'm getting 12 to 16 hours overnight, in other words, running my air conditioner. Of course, it's all about what are you running. And so if you're gonna run your hot water heater, that goes to about 2,000 watts, you're gonna burn through those batteries, and a lot of it in 30 or 40 minutes. If you're trying to stop for the night and run that AC, I'll show you how to do it in that video. It's very easy, and I've been successful doing that for lots of times, lots of different boondocking. What I typically do if I'm going to boondock and I want to take a shower, or my wife wants to take a shower that night, my last hour into my campground, or into my boondocking site rather, I'll turn my water pump on and I'll turn my water heater on. I have the electric heater with the Freedom Package. It uses a lot of amps to heat that water up. So I'd rather do that while driving, because the Mercedes, or the Freedom Package vehicles rather, the Mercedes has a large enough alternator that it will charge your batteries. In other words, you're driving on the road, your batteries are being used to heat the water to the hot top temperature. but you're not draining your batteries because your Mercedes-Benz, or your vehicle rather, is charging those batteries. Does the Shore plug, number 30, does the Shore plug charge the chassis battery? The answer is kind of yes. I've answered this in my piece about Victron. Frankly, it more probably discharges a little bit because your other systems you're running, but the answer is kind of yes, and I'll try to explain that in a future video. Number 31, my heater isn't turning on. So it doesn't say which heater it is, and I only have experience with the Autoterm heater. If you're pressing the heater and it's not turning on, that means that the Autoterm heater will go through a series of checks when it turns on. So when you press the snowflake in the middle, and you'll see this on my video, all of a sudden you'll see what I call a coffee cup. And that's the system going through its system checks to make sure it's got diesel, it's warm, and it's working properly. If it then goes, it doesn't turn on any heat, it goes right to the hourglass, that means it's shutting itself down or it's not working at all. And what that really means is there's something going on, and you definitely need to contact MAD for that. Number 32, my cooktop isn't working. So I just shared with this on a previous video around finding your inverter rather. If you look in the rear of your vehicle on the passenger side, and this is the 170 extended, this is similar but not true for these 144s. If you open your back door, look on the bottom on your passenger side, you'll see a small black box. Look on the inside of that black box, and there is an AC plug, a regular household plug. It's a GFI. It has two, either a red or green. Green means everything is charging. If it's red, that means that it's not charging, and that AC, that GFI, controls all the AC plugs in the vehicle. So if your Shore plug charge, if you are not able to get AC connections inside your vehicle, the first place to check is that plug, and if it's on red. If it's not on red and it's not on green, that means you need to get into that black box, which I show you how to do on that video, and it means your inverter has gone to sleep. You just need to press the on-off button for 3 seconds, and it will wake up, and you will be good to go again. And then your cooktop will turn on. The other thing you may want to do is, if you look in the drawer under your cooktop, that cooktop is just plugged into an AC regular 110 volt outlet, and maybe it's just wiggled loose. But my experience has been 9 times out of 10, it's that back GFI has popped for a variety of reasons. The last thing it could be is the induction stovetop requires a magnetic pan, a metal pan. So take a small magnet and make sure your pans are magnetic, so that or it's a safety feature, or the stove will not light up. Number 33 rather. My generator keeps dying when I turn on my AC. Now, I did not have a generator, but what I heard as an answer to this, and by the way, a special thank you to Karen Monte, who was our rally scribe or note taker. She sent me these notes. What I remember them saying that there's too much load on the generator, and therefore it dies out. So what you'd want to do as a first step is, first of all, start the generator, give it 4 or 5 minutes to warm up so it's generating full capacity. If it was me, I would use my Victron app and start putting small loads on it. Maybe turn the water pressure on, the water pump on, turn the water on, see if it's working, and kind of go through some small things and kind of build yourself up in your generator, more and more things, using more and more things. What will happen is you'll hear that generator start to rev up. The more load you put on a generator, the more electricity it has to generate, and so it's going to run harder. If you have propane, clearly burn more propane, but it's going to run harder and louder. So if you're getting nothing, that probably means that the fuse is not lit, and we're going to show you how to do that in a future video. Or if it is running, then turn everything else off, turn your AC on just low fan, get the fan going, and then press your compressor on, in other words, cool on, and see if you can't get it to work that way and turn on. Number 35, when filling my freshwater tank, it spills in the ground. Do I have a leak? No, you don't have a leak. As earlier I explained, if you overfill your freshwater tanks on the top of the tank, there's a valve that allows excess water to come out. And so you can't overfill your freshwater tank. When I'm filling my freshwater tank, I'm going to go boondocking. I'll hook up the hose, turn it on, of course, and then turn it on fresh. So I'm filling my freshwater tank. And then I'll set my Apple iPhone for a countdown timer of about 10 minutes. If you're empty, it takes about 15 minutes. And then I start watching under the vehicle. When I start seeing drops of fresh water dropping under the front tire, the driver's side front tire, then I know my fresh water is filled, my tank is filled, and I'll turn it off. Number 36, where is my spare tire? You don't have one. The spare tire space is used for your batteries underneath. And so for your many people, I think Eric Weiss is going to share with us what he just bought one, is a spare tire rack that you can put on the back of your RV, but you don't have one. What I do is I personally would never want to try to change a tire on this RV anyway. They're 15,000 pounds. So instead what I do is I have a membership with Good Sam for roadside assistance. I've had to use it once in 10 years, and I sure was glad I had it. You just press, you say, I'm here, they know what your vehicle is. They send automatically a GPS of where you're exactly located. And about 10 minutes later, I got a call from a technician saying they're coming out to me, and I was on the road in about an hour. Number 37, where is my toolkit? It's in the Mercedes-Benz version. I don't have others. In the Mercedes-Benz, your toolkit is under your passenger side door. So when you step out your door, look at the step, the interior step, the Mercedes-Benz step. You see a little door, undo it, and there's where your toolkit is. How do I fill my propane? So at number 38, how do I fill my propane? Go to a professional. In my opinion, this is not something you want to attempt. You want to go to someone who knows what they're doing, a Love's, Flying J, Pilot, a campground, something like that. The short version is for filling propane, what I recommend, I saw this is, as you know, propane can only be filled, the tanks can only be filled between about 50 and 75% of the way based on the temperature outside because propane expands. I saw one person very smartly had a plumber connect a quick disconnect to the outside of his propane fill. So if he's boondocking and if he runs out of propane, he brings a 5-gallon canister with him, like you see in a Flying J. There's ones you can buy for your barbecue. He can quick connect it in, so he has 5 more gallons of propane, and then he knows when he leaves, he has to load up, he has to refill his propane. Number 39, how long will the generator run on the tank of propane? This is all about load. So if you run, what I've heard one person say when I asked this question, that he can get about 3 days off of his boondocking off of his tank of propane. Now it depends on, what are you running? If you're running your AC all the time, you're going to burn through a lot of propane. My recommendation is, using both systems. So if it was me, I would, during the day, park in the shade if I'm boondocking, keep my doors open, my screens down, and then about 8 o'clock at night when I'm not getting any more radiant heat from the windshield, right, from other windows, I would close the doors, turn my generator on, turn my vehicle on and get as cold as you can in there and try to cool it down in like an hour or so. And that way then and you'll see in my premiere video for ACs, then leave your generator run with, frankly, that night with no load, right? And then you'll turn your fan on low and set your compressor or your temperature to the ambient temperature you want. You'll see it in my premiere video. And that way the fan is running all night long, giving you a nice cool breeze on top of you. And as needed, the compressor will turn on and off. A low fan will no way wipe out your batteries overnight. And if you've got the Victron app, you can set alarms, which you can see, and also in your inverter, which you can see on my Victron settings app. And so if you wake up and you hear an alarm, You know you're about to run out of power. You would jump up, turn your generator off, turn your vehicle on, and then you start regenerating, charging your batteries. Last question, how do I adjust my blinds, manual and electric? We had no one there with electric. Manual are very easy. I do have a video coming out on that. It's a short video, and I'll have that video out probably early next week. So I apologize, this has been a long, boring video. Lots of people asked me these questions, and it would have been a 20-page document. I thought it was just easier to go this way. If you have questions, go on to the channel, send a comment. I answer everything. If you send a comment, I will get an email to my mad@utour.gmail.com, and I try to pick those up as quickly as I can during the day if possible. I'm working, so if not, that evening. Hope this helps, and lots more videos to come. Thanks.